Right, okay, so what we've got here is how to install an end panel. So first things first, I've unboxed the end panel. Now just laying it on my cutting boards. Give it a good look over, make sure there's no damage on there. If there is a bit of damage, you might be able to cut it so that you can cut the damage away. So it's always worth a good check. Just getting a rough measurement here, probably about 10mm more than I need at my widest point. So just put a couple of marks on, top and bottom. Then get the track for the track saw. Connect that up. Just join it up to those two marks that you've put on, top and bottom. And then let's go for a cut. I can't remember if I've cut full depth here or not, or if it's a score cut. I'll let you know in a minute. If you are cutting full depth, don't cut so deep that you end up cutting into the worktop underneath. I've got 18mm boards under this, so as long as I'm not 18mm deeper than the 18mm thickness of the end panel, so as long as the track saw's not anywhere near 36mm, I've got no chance of hitting that worktop underneath. It looked like I did do a score cut and then I done a final cut. So just get rid of that piece that I don't want. So now let's take the doors off. There we go, the floor's already been installed on this job, so I can just lay it directly onto the floor. Just pop it up there, a couple of clamps, one at the top, one at the bottom. Now what I'm looking to do here is I want this end panel to finish flush with the front of the door. So I believe that means from the carcass I want it to finish up being about 21mm proud of the carcass. So I'm just measuring that there, but I'm not measuring 21mm, I'm measuring 21mm plus whatever the thickness is that I'm going to use to scribe. So say if I was scribing with a 10mm packer, I would want to make this measurement 31mm, so that by the time I scribe 10mm off the back, it will then sit nice against the wall and leave me with 21mm. So that's parallel with the carcass right now. I've got a block scribe here, and I'm going to scribe it the distance over the 21mm. So say I've put it to 31mm, I'm now scribing 10mm off the back. Just going to go and mark the top of the unit onto the end panel, and then add the thickness of the cornice that's going at the top. which I cannot remember what it was, but say it's 36mm. So just mark the top of the unit and then add 36mm. I'll do the cut at the top of the end panel, cut the top of the end panel off first. So I'll square my mark round. And assuming that everything is plumb and upright means that I can just cut this square. So transfer that mark to the back. That will be square enough. Now I want to cut this, and my blade is going to enter the front edge of the end panel so that it creates a nice clean cut. So because of that, I'm also going to be cutting along the face, the top, if that makes sense. So I'm going to have to do a score cut first with the saw, because if I didn't do this score cut, then it would potentially be a little bit of a rough cut. So just gentle score cut along the top, and then go for the final cut, full depth. And that should leave a really nice clean cut. And if it doesn't, just touch it up with a tiny bit of sandpaper, just take that edge off. That bit can go to landfill. So now I've got to plane that scribe line that is along the back of the end panel. There's two ways of doing this. You could cut it with the track saw, but it won't be that great, or you can do it this way, where you do it with a plane, and you can make it almost perfect like this. Just extending some of the marks that I couldn't get to. I think there was a pipe in the way at the bottom when I scribed it, so I've just extended that mark. A little bit of a guess. But it doesn't matter if you take a little bit extra off at that bottom, because the skirting will cover that. I'm just going to cut just deep enough to get past the coating of the end panel with a saw, because if I didn't do this and I just went straight along with the electric plane, that would bust a section out. And you want to bust as little out as possible, because you don't want any kind of bare MDF on the ground if you can help it. So just putting that little cut there will just make that little bit flick off up to where you've cut. Won't cause too much damage. So just replace the saw for the plane. And I've sped this little section coming up a little bit because it takes a little while doing this. So just run along, and you can just gently work your way towards the line that you've put. And by sort of like undercutting with the plane, you can quite easily get quite accurate against the line. You start planing and take quite a lot of meat off, and then as you get towards the line, you can ease off a little bit. And take your time on this bit, because in my opinion this is what makes a decent kitchen, how well the end panels are scribed in. Because you can fit a decent kitchen, but if you don't make this bit look good, then what's the point? Right, so you can't see very well, but if you looked along that line, you would see that it actually isn't very straight. And that's because a wall that you button into, even a decent plasterer, it's not going to be that straight. So there we go, just butt that into the wall, and that's where you get that nice crisp line. No need for any cork or decorating or anything like that. You're going to struggle to fit a Rizzler paper behind anywhere on that end panel if you've got it right. So just put a couple of clamps on that just to keep it in place. Tap it back all the way. And there we go, now we can fix it inside. So just do a little pre-drill hole, plant a little screw in there. Don't go mental with this screw, just ease it in nice and gently, just so it sits flush with the cab carcass. There we go. I probably should have edited this little section out. I didn't realise there was going to be such a long pause here. The screws must have been the other end of the kitchen. So there we go. Just gently ease that screw in there. Pardon me. And if your kitchen has them, come with them. These little stickers that go over the top pretty much makes it disappear. Same again at the back, if you're tall enough. Pre-drill a hole. Now there is an argument here that you could take the hinge connector off and put your screw in behind there, but you can do that and that will hide the screw. But there's so many other areas where you have to put screws in that you just can't hide. So it's got to the point now where if someone specifically wanted me to do that, then I would, but under normal situation I won't. So just try and be as discreet as you can with your screws, but if they are on show, either cover them up or make them consistent. Consistent as in screwed in nicely and straight and square, flush with the carcass, head of the screw flush with the carcass, and consistent as in the position that you put the screw in. And I don't think 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100 no one's going to moan about those screws, not when they look consistent. So just give the unit a little bit of a dust out. As you can see, they've already put their stuff in there, handy. Clamps off, doors on. And that is an end panel. Not too hard, just take your time. It's what makes a kitchen great.